Hey, it's Crack 36, excuse me, sniffles. Um, I never did my review of turn three, and so I have to do that before I do turn four. So this is Crack 36 for Axis Allies board game. Um, okay, it's showing Zoom. Just want to make sure it's popping my screen, and then I'll be ready to go. Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, I didn't put it on. I put it on tracking my screen, tracking the Axis Allies game. So here we are. We are uh, we are in the middle of a game. This is the third round, and this is the German situation. This is a 60 bid. I played the Axis last time. Now the Allies playing the 60 bid. Here's the German situation. I think it's better than that. Yes. Okay. So then here is what they do. They move into East Poland using the cheesy uh, crappy one of the crappiest rules in Axis and Allies, which is that these guys can invade, um, but they're not invading because they're in Italian territory. So they actually get the $10 bonus for trade with Russia, anyways. So cheap. Let me pour scorn and derision on you, Schultze, for using that rule, but it is an out of box rule. And at the same time, though not at war, this um, this sub disrupts convoy, even though you're not at war. So, just $5 this way and $5 this way in Axis favor. Just really silly, non not common sense. So, just pouring scorn and derision on them on this rule as well as on Schultze for using it. Shame, shame, shame on you. Okay, so what are the Russians going to do in this game? Uh, the Russians are going. This move right here was already done. Okay, so I do that so the Japanese can actually do their move as well. But this move has already been done for this turn. It leads. I will see about the animation. So I don't think this is going to work. I talked to a guy named Barney who works on some of the AAA stuff. And this is what I buy 9 infantry, 1 mech, 1 tank. And let me just see what we ended up with. This is the beginning. Notice we have a huge force in the Caucasus, and that's about the only interesting thing. And then we will move to showing you what I do. And I did find out how to avoid the spoiler alert. It's not very satisfying, but here's the two combats right here and here. And he said basically skip the summary. Let's see if I can do it. So there's a battle. There's what I'm attacking with, and there's what they're defending with. And then there's the roll for the sub. Hmm. There's a hit for the cruiser. Damage the battleship. They fire back and get 2 hits. Which is sad because I was going to choose the sub, obviously. The cruiser is a casualty. And negative 18 for the losses, TUV losses. Let me try to figure this out because I swear it betrays me. Okay, we have all those units moving into Iraq. Those are the defenders. I've already taken one guy out with an attack from a mech and a tank. There's the roll. I get 1 hit. He gets 1 hit. We roll, and then we roll and get plenty of hits. He rolls back, misses. I claim victory over Iraq. That is a $5 territory for us. So pretty good. Thought it used to, if I was just doing this. Oh, that's what happens. If you don't look at the map, you're good. So if I put it like this and didn't show you the map, then we would just look at the combat. That might be the way to do it. And then you're just engaged here. And there's a hit from one of the planes. He does hit back, and boom. Russians take over Ukraine, preventing production. And then here, I'll move this back for combat. I'm going to move it. I'm going to cough. Gotta get my morning cough in. All right, so then we do animation. Now they moved to Bryansk, but I actually, in my text messages, I asked him to move them to Moscow because I see the danger here. Pretty standard play that you would bomb Moscow at this point in time and reduce its factory. And this big money I'm about to receive is nerfed. Okay, place units all in Moscow, and that's it. But I collect $36, even though it's into my territory in Karelia as well as East Poland, Baltic, and collect $3 more. So I'm up to $39. I still have a full, more than full production. So here we go. Recap: 1 sub in 125, which missed last turn, 5 and 5. 44 infantry, 4 anti-aircraft, 1 mech, 1 artillery, 3. These 3 fighters are not there. 1 artillery in Ukraine, 2 infantry in Rostov, 1 mech in Volgograd, 9 infantry, 1 tank, and 3 fighters in Russia. 18 infantry, 2 anti-aircraft in Manchuria. And then down here, diver in Persia, 2 mech, 2 tanks in Iraq. All right. All right, what are the Japanese going to do? We'll open these up. And I think I played through this. So remember that I am actually playing the game for him. He rolled his own dice rolls, so these dice rolls do not count. That's why we don't look at these battles, because I'm editing the whole thing. So looking at the right screen, he buys a naval base, 3 infantry and 4 artillery. I believe he might have bought something different. And I'm not always careful about following what he's doing here. I will confess that. So I did, so yes. So I gave him this, I'm calling this the Rocky Balboa strategy. Gave him a huge fleet here to attack. He did. And now I'm giving me a huge force in Kwangsi to attack. Now notice in this, he is not gaining back. He is not gaining Yunnan, for instance. He is not going too far into China. And he's even struggling with areas that should be his. And so this is what I'm calling the Rocky Balboa strategy. He's fighting, he's winning victories, but in winning those victories, he's actually curtailing his own growth. Can he do anything else? Can he do anything different? Probably not. He's got to do these battles, and even after the secret, of course, is that even after the 42 fleet's destruction, there's a new fleet right here that's already sprung up. This is all what was purchased and survived. And then this force here, he's going to attack this, and the Russians are going to come down to J-hole. And he's already done the turn. He's going to attack that. Well, in the meantime, I've got new troops on the board from the fact that I have these $7 extra from the Yunnan territory and the Burma Road. So the thing he destroys is quickly rebuilt. Now this force will not be quickly rebuilt, but it'll be replaced by this force right here. That's the sort of big meta plan. All right, let's see what happens. Really, we're looking to see where he ends up, so don't have to sort of pay attention here to this movement, because I might have been completely correct, but he brings everything he can down to going C, and then, like I said, combat. This is the actual result of combat, so I'll bring it in. He wins hands down, doesn't lose many troops. Then that's the scary thing, is I'm betting on these quick battles where he only loses a handful of troops, basically trying to zero out his production capability. So here we have 2 factories. He does have lots of transports, but I'm trying to zero out his input into Asia because that limits his growth. And then this hopefully can slide into Season 7 or start convoying. And then we're talking about a stagnant Japan at 50 or less. And then just the waiting game as I build. Since I have $15 coming in here, I've got a huge amount of money coming into India. I've got a good amount of money because I have Malaya coming into Anzac, and a continual, this is one of the things, you can't not put some stuff in 10, Season 10. It has to be a constant feed, not at full bore like I have been. So anyways, let's take a look at the end results. Okay, that's not a good number. Let's see if I correct that number. $34 and trade with the United States. So $44, $45. He doesn't have much money, and I correct that later on, I think. But let's take a look at it. He has Borneo, Siam, Quing huge navy right there. These battleships are damaged. There's Air Force, which of course can reach 1, 2, 3, 4 land there, and then a huge Air Force here. So this Air Force can reach. The aircraft carriers will provide landing spots, and of course you can build new ones, but it's all aircraft attacking him. This naval base was actually defensive. So normally we think about that naval base as being, let's attack India, which is a real deal. I mean, he could sort of ignore my force, try to take India. I am going to react to that. I have to. He could also take this force and drop it in Northern Territory or Queensland. And that's why I'm down here. And I wouldn't be able to, doesn't look like I could resist that 6, 8, 12 units. I am about to build more defensive units, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, and then of course the next round, the aircraft land, and it's all over. But in the meantime, he's left India, China, and the Americans go wild. So I doubt that's what he's going to do, but I do have to react to it. So, but if this is just defensive, going back to 6, that is $15 that he did not want to spend, and contributed nothing to the war, his forward progress in the war. I should say. Okay, well, enough of that. Like I said, I'm trying to become a master at curtailing the Japanese. Like I said, it is. Oh, here we go. Let's see if that changes things. Nope. Okay. All right. What do I build? Let's go back to history. Airbase, transport, carrier, sub, destroyer. All right. Combat moves. Let's collapse this a little bit. See if we can see. So hard to do this for the Americans. So let's go halvesies on the combat moves, and I go right to non-combat. Sub to C-Zone. I move everything off to C-Zone 7. Oh, there it is. The subs from Philippines actually make it to C-Zone 7. So that's sweet. And then the carrier from 10. The transports are coming in because I do want to revoke an attack. He will have these units to attack in J-hole, and he'll have these units to attack. So trying to flood the zone. 4 bombers are going to move to Aleutians. That's going to get me project as much power as I can over, 1, 2, 3, potentially 4, with landing spaces 5, 6, 7, potentially landing spaces in China, or landing spaces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 landing spaces in Russia. 4 bombers to the Aleutians, 1 fighter to the Aleutians, 1 fighter to C-Zone 7, 1 tactical. So let's just go to placing units. Can't move anywhere in the Atlantic. Here's the results of the turn. Projecting a lot of power. This power is projecting over C-Zone 7. It doesn't go all the way to Japan, but it is going up to, I've got 5 destroyers that are going to be able to block if he lets me. So that is one of the reasons why he's going to have to move to C-Zone 6, because if he doesn't, I'm going to block him out of C-Zone 6. He's going to have to fight his way back in. Even with this air base, with this naval base, I can send the destroyers in down to C-Zone 18, C-Zone 19. To block, he'd go into non-combat move. And then what mischievous things can I do? All right, so that is the situation. Here, trying to draw his attention north. He wants to be in the south. He wants to be down here in the Money Islands. He wants to take take Malaya over, the Philippines, and I want to draw his attention to this area right here, or to coastal China. And that's another thing. I could slip through and destroy his factories if he isn't very careful. Planes could fly through. 6, 1, 2, 3, hit and land the carriers. Now I have to be aware of the kamikazes. All right, that's the Americans, and over here we are just gearing up to move into 91, I would assume. All right. What are the Chinese going to do? We're going to buy 5 infantry. Let's go to combat moves. And I'm just going to spread out Hunan and Anhui, I think. Oh, J-hole. There we go. And that is a healthy China. Even though it's been destroyed, its main force has been destroyed. Turn completes. And he's got battles galore, which is what I want. And I have $15. No, $21. And that's what I appreciated so much about Oistello's game that I'm reviewing against Gamerman. Strong Russia, strong China. And no matter what you do, I think he had 4 different catastrophic battles, and yet healthy China, healthy Russia wins the game, in my opinion. All right, let's go to the UK. I buy here one carrier, one destroyer, one sub, remaining resources. Now I changed that in the text message to 3 fighters. Okay, we're going to go with a solid Lend-Lease build. That's what I call that. The UK Pacific builds 3 infantry, 2 mech. I don't like that build. I'd rather go with Navy, but with this, the potential is that he leaves his own 6 alone. I've done that myself. It's heart-wrenching if you're a Japanese player, and it's devastating, but taking over India is a powerful, especially if the Germans are putting good pressure on Moscow. Taking over India really is, I mean, as the allied player, you're pretty discouraged. That move by Ted in my review of his game, where he took over India and Moscow, I think the same turn, or the turn after, I mean, it's pretty discouraging. So I'm gonna have to assume he's going to India, even though I don't think he is. And here's the moves. There's no good way to do this, so I'll more like read it, and then we'll see some of this where the action is. 2 infantry to Shan, 4 mech. You can see where I'm moving back. I'm playing around a little bit. I'm doing it as well. I'd like to go to Siam. I'd like to kill those 2 guys, but big but there. And play around with trying to get guys back to Burma. And then I do stuff in the Med. Let's review it. Actually, let's move it down. I haven't used the edit button. A lot of working around, a lot of thinking. Okay, so what I've determined or decided on is that most of this stuff's going back, and then I decide to set up blockers. I'm going to double block India. So the destroyer's, I think, going to move in here. Anzac's going to move in here, right there. So I'm going to double block India, so there's no way he can attack India. I'm just going to put that to bed. I didn't want to do that, but thought I needed to. This is the big move right here. So this transport's being protected by the carrier 2 fighters, because I'm about to drop this one of those Russians onto there so that I can start collecting mad money over here. Dropping to Ethiopia, and I'll go to 39 from 39 to $4 more. And then all of a sudden I can start, $3 more after that. So, and then some of these guys can go over and catch Tobruk, Libya, and Tunisia. And after that, we can catch Sicily and Sardinia for mad money. If you're not doing spread of communism bonus, you're not doing it right. Excuse me. So then I don't think this is a substantial battle. Oh, this is a mistake. So what I did was I was trying to reconcile the map. So I moved the German damaged battleship over here and built a German battleship. The funny thing is, if you do that, it fights it fights against the German units that are already in that battle. So that's the sort of funny thing. All right. All right, let's go to non-coms. And how are we gonna just show you? I'll show you where the British started off right here. Got bomber. The island is full of planes. I've got Sebastian here. I've got Iraq, the Rock of Egypt. This is the way the infantry is. All right, that's how it started. Let me show you how it finishes. All right, so I built more. No, that's going to have even more. So that's going to have 7 fighters, diver, bomber. The 2 bombers came from here from London. And then I have 2 more to go onto the aircraft carrier, and the French fleet is helping me. All right, and then this is London. Let's do a recap. Have I done a recap? Infantry artillery in Quebec, a tank and 4 infantry in Brazil, 1 transport, destroyer 91, infantry in Gibraltar, aircraft carrier, 2 fighters in 92, infantry in Malta, infantry in Iraq, infantry, 2 artillery in Transjordan, 7 fighters, 1 diver, 1 bomber, 2 infantry in Egypt, 2 bombers in French Equatorial Africa, cruiser, 2 fighters, 1 transport in AD, 10 infantry, 1 MAC 5 anti-aircraft in UK. All right, let's go to Southeast Asia. 1 tank, 1 infantry in West India, 5 infantry, 2 mech in India. Burma has 1 diver, 1 Chinese fighter, 4 mech, 2 infantry, 1 artillery, 3 anti-aircraft. 38, I think it is, has destroyer 37, a sub in 43, 2 infantry in Celebes, 2 infantry in Sumatra. I believe that is it. Interesting, there's no mixing of the forces so far. No foreign units in China, no foreign units in Russia. Let's go to the Americans. 3 infantry, 1 artillery on 2 transports and 7 battleship, 2 cruisers, 2 subs, 3 aircraft carriers, 5 destroyers, 6 fighters with new airbase on Aleutians with 4 bombers, 1 diver, and 10 there is aircraft carrier, destroyer, and sub, 2 anti-aircraft, 4 mech, 1 infantry, 2 subs, 1 destroyer, 1 destroyer, 1 cruiser, 2 transports, 2 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 tank, 2 anti-aircraft in central. All right. So then Italy goes. Let's see what Italy did. Oops. Italy buys. I have to edit this whole thing. Slow. I'm gonna do my Russian purchases. I don't want to move out of Russian combat. Um, I don't generally prefer or like 1v1 battles. So I would generally say no, actually, but that's okay. He gets one, I think. I know he does. Ah, oh, he left the Mac down here. Okay, the Mac. Oh, it's Olivia. Two here, a bunch there. Just purchase these. It looks like four, three there, and one there. Three planes. What is that? Two and two, and two and three. Oh, what happened? Oh, that's right. He went quiet for a while. Units 3 and 2, I think. 3 artillery, 2 infantry. Trying to build up that Atlantic wall. Yeah, he covered up his mic, I think. Nope. No, I got spinning internet. Oh boy. Let me take my phone off the internet just in case. Let's see if there's any other windows open. Trying to work on the Imperial Borders rules right now. Oh, did I just shut myself down? I might have. Oh, that might have been dumb. Yeah, I looked myself up on YouTube. Sure, it did. Everything's spinning. There we go, live. Am I live still? Just you're gonna hear myself. Yep. Okay. Good. Sure did. All right, back to it. Let's see what he has. Hmm. All right, let's give myself a little bit more, less of a setting quality. Let's go down to 144. See if that helps. Uh, all right, let's take a look at what I did for the when your voice pops up. No, I'm gonna shut that down for a minute. Here we go. All right, we got some action. I downloaded a tabletop and also uh, and also Steam, and I think it slowed down my machine. Let's see if Steam is up. All right, let's get to the recap. Bombers here. All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Watch this. All right, here we go. Sorry. Okay. Oh, hmm. I gotta do side by side. This is not working. Sorry. 21. 21 is not a good number. Should be able to reduce that pretty soon. That's without the med bonus. Imagine if he was getting a med bonus. Schultz has always been really good at the Italians. Making sure the Italians have a good income. Okay, that's correct. That's correct. And this Europe is not correct. Like that must be like 4 infantry and 2, 3 there. Hmm, okay, back on it. Okay. All right, 3. And then here is, that's looking closer. Just need 4, 2 infantry and 2 artillery. And all right, let's see if that's correct. I think that's correct. And you forgot the Italian bomber in West Germany, right there. Me. Okay, so um, then it's my turn to do Anzac. I'll show you what I already did. Um, so I moved the French destroyer. I can show you actually. That would be better than telling, right? Down here. I did. This is what I call either the ghost turn, or even better than ghost turn would be fog of war, where we do move the French and the Anzac, and if there happens to be some sort of conflict, I walk it back. Um, all right, so what did I purchase? Let's open up the right panel. We can see the history. So we purchased one fighter and two infantry, and then I don't think this pulls it. It used to pull the screen over. That's what I was talking to Barney about. He's a AAA developer, and it used to pull the screen to wherever it was. And for some reason, it doesn't anymore. So I decide I'm going to put most of the uh, attack that. Okay, so then if you don't want a spoiler alert, you skip past. If I press on this tab right here, Battle for Siam, it'll show what happens. So you don't, you skip that over and you press this, and then you look at the right panel, defense with two. They roll, they get one hits. He rolls, he gets no hits. One infantry lost. We roll, we get two hits. He rolls, he gets no hits. Yay, we win. Okay, and then we move down to non-combat move, and we take a look. And the fighters move. One of them moves to India. The others go to Siam. We do the cleanup. We collect $15, but we met in a national objective, $20. Okay, so let's take a look at where we are at the end of $20. Let's go in with the French. The French do this, move around a little bit. Move. This goes to Transjordan. Destroyer. If I press on combat, you'll see where the combats are. This is the combat. If I press on 109 right here, it'll show the results. So I won't. I'll skip that. And here's the destroyer versus the sub. We fire, we miss. He fires, he misses. We fire, we hit. He fires, he hits. French destroyer and sub lost with a -1 TUV, I believe, -2. All right, and I'll do the recap for turn 4. And then we will see how far we can get it to the next German turn. 2 infantry in Morocco, 1 cruiser in maybe 2 infantry, and 1 fighter in UK. 2 Anzac, one French in Iraq, one French dude in French Equatorial Africa. We still have 39, this French destroyer, and importantly, 41, this Anzac destroyer, 1 infantry in Siam, 2 fighters in Burma, 1 fighter in India, still 1 infantry, 1 anti-aircraft in Java, 2 infantry, 1 fighter in New South Wales, 1 tank artillery and mech in South Australia, 3 infantry, and 1 fighter and 1 anti-aircraft. And we are finally going to be able to move out of this defensive location because he's about to move up to Sea Zone 6. All right, so then it would be Germany's turn. I have got about an hour left before I have to go to work. So then it looks pretty slow right now. Let me see if I can close anything else down. I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna put battery saver mode on. I'm pretty sure the. Nope, I can't put that on. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Germany 4, but I'm gonna look for. Let me look here and make sure the Steam is not working right now because I have a feeling it's working in the background, slowing me down. Okay, do not want that starting. My apologies, guys. It's just computer's being a dog right now. Okay, I'm just gonna press off on everything. All right, let's see if that helps. Okay, we don't need that. Ask me later. Okay, let's go to Germany. Okay, and I have to do everything in edit. How many minutes? 15 minutes. Okay, I'm going to skip a little bit. Oh, she's at work till 2. Okay, he's gonna attack that and win. I'm in my UPS truck. It's so noisy. That stupid beeping kills me. And then we have a discussion about my fighters. I let him. My fighters went from Caucasus, Black Sea, Ukraine, Bryansk. He decides not to bomb. So he readjusts and attacks with the bombers. Kills them. I think that's it. You classic YouTube wars. I sent him a bunch of pictures. Yep, he's gonna move everything into Belarus and everything up to East Poland. And I think he moves his ships out to 113, 112. So let's do that. Okay. What am I doing right now? So and then this is Russian combat, so I can actually move these guys and edits. So I'll move everything in edits. And he can land them all here too. I think I don't think he took Leningrad. I think those fighters go out here. I think these guys go over here, and it's not supposed to be two. It's supposed to be one. That's supposed not supposed to be there. Oh, no kidding. I did succeed. That's cool. This is not there. Boo. Oh, he did take Leningrad. He's finally getting. I love it. What's that? I fed it already. Checks. Uh, bomber. Okay, what did I just do? There we go. Bomber. Unit. Stop. Germany. Bomber. 2 tanks, I think. 6 mech. I think that's what he said. Oh, shucks. Start it here, see if it'll work. Oh. I think I'm on the internet right now. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this later, guys. So I am going to close it out here. We have a pretty fierce game going. I'll upload this and then I'll do a quick Russian turn. Well, I'm just reviewing what he did, so it's no big deal. I'm going to go to. I've got a hunting trip coming up, so trust me, my wife is being more than gracious. Hunting trip coming up this weekend as well as one next week. And then after that, I go to Dayton, Ohio for the board game conference. So where is show meeting? Show meeting. There it is. All right, crack it up. For hell, Allied, of course. This is slow.